All right, my friends, this week on Prof and Dev Play Games, we are talking blueprints and spoilers abound. Beware, and we'll see you after the bumper music. All right, my friends, welcome to episode 478 of Prof and Dev Play Games, the Blueprints Spoilercast. I am Larry. I am the professor. I am at Prof Plays Games on Blue Sky. Over there is Anthony. He is a developer and many other things, I'm sure, too. But he is at Summerspeak on Blue Sky. How are you, Anthony?
Doing okay. Yeah, I'd like to think I'm more than just a game developer, but, that is a very big part of my persona, I guess, as work is for most people. But yeah, no, doing well. Weekend, you mentioned like your school's winding down. Washington goes a little longer, but we're definitely hitting the end of the school year. I think we have like 3-4 more weeks total, mid-June for us. But
yeah, my daughter has 3 weeks. No, sorry, my daughter has 2 weeks. My wife has 3 weeks, and I have 1 week. So we're all kind of staggered.
Yeah. My wife and son were down at University of Puget Sound for his oboe lesson, and they have already graduated. Done. Like school's out.
Wow.
At UPS. Wow. I was like, that's a little early, and then it's just like, yeah, but they took the chance where there's like no students there, and usually during the summer at that campus they do a lot of like summer camps where high schools are different. Like I know there's like a big cheerleading camp that happens there. But there's nothing for a few weeks, so they took some extra time to just wander the campus and just kind of see it when it was very quiet again. But yeah, I was surprised it was. We're only mid. I guess the graduation was probably the 11th for that 10th or 11th.
Early for college.
It does seem really early for a college, but yeah, it's that time of year. I'm just counting down the days, and then it's summer, and that means nothing for my work, but it means I don't have to take my kids everywhere all the time.
Right. A little less commuting there.
Yes. It's not far, it's 10 minutes, but it's like multiple 10-minute trips constantly. Exactly. And it just adds up.
It does, for sure. And we're not even to that phase with our daughter yet. It's mainly around not too much of that independent activities and things, but that'll come eventually.
It does. It's a different type of busy that happens.
Well, I'm not looking forward to the busy I guess I am looking forward to it because I did this, but my doctorate starts this summer, so that's my stepping into that. Had my orientation last week, met the people in my cohort, and then I need to finish registering for my summer classes, and then we're going out to the away from home to where the program is for our in-person intensive. So yeah, looking forward to it. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work. But in 3 years, I'll be happy that I did it. But speaking of things that take a long time, or longer than you think, blueprints. We both rolled credits, which is sort of like finishing the tutorial apparently in this game. And we're going to talk about everything we experienced, everything we're experiencing now, talking all the way through to getting to room 46 the second time, and then what comes after and whether or not we're going to continue with that, because there's a lot to it after you do that. So I don't know. Let's start with general thoughts, maybe, or do you want to start somewhere specific?
No, general thoughts are fine. I mean, I was talking about this game beforehand. I know I would love to hear your thoughts on the fact that I was talking about this weird-ass game. And somehow you decided to play this weird-ass game.
Oh, I would love to talk about that. When you're done with your thoughts, that's where I will go, because that's exactly what I want to start with.
So, I mean, I've mentioned on podcasts before, I did some IGF judging this year, which... Is that judging? I think it's the judging. I always get the terms mixed up. There's the judging, which is a lot of industry folk play and do the nominations that then get picked up by the committee, I think is the term that like gives the award. They do the like probably hours long conversations for all the IGF awards and what should get the prize. And this year I went through my 10 games that I was like required to play, and there's some good stuff in there. And then once you do your 10, you're allowed to just basically pick any games you want to play in the time frame. My boss, Liz England, she was like, you should play Blueprints. It's really neat. Had no spoilers for it. Had no clue what this thing was, other than it's a roguelike. You walk and you're placing down, when you hit a door, you place down the next room you go into. And so doorways are really important. Go. And I played it for like 10 hours in IGF. I nominated it for design. It's incredible. Spoilers. It's a really incredible puzzle game. And I like roguelikes anyway, so it was a really neat marriage of the roguelike puzzle game, which, I mean, that's not what you see. You see a lot of roguelike action games or roguelike turn-based things, not puzzles. But I played it for about 10 hours and like, okay, this is really good. And I'm playing 3 or 4 months before the game came out. And I'm like, this is cool. It's very good. It's very weird. But I'm going to pause because there are bugs and there's, there definitely was stuff. There wasn't like all the cutscenes weren't there. There was just some missing things. And I was like, it's good. I'm going to wait until it releases. And it released. And I started playing again. Like in that IGF thing, I never got to room 46. The last thing I did in the IGF when I was doing it is I placed the excavation room, and the last run I made it to the antechamber, got the key, got to the excavation room, got down to the basement, ran out of steps before I could use the key. Like immediately stepping but I saw it. I was like, but that's when I stopped. I was like, okay, I don't know what's behind the door in the basement.
Right.
I have no clue. And I think at that point, and here's spoilers, that run, how I got it to work, I used the secret garden to open the antechamber.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I had that had been my strategy. I will say, restarting it and going through it, I did never use the secret garden.
Oh, that's my mainstay. That's when I use the most.
No, I started using the greenhouse all the time.
I haven't pulled the greenhouse since like the 5th hour. I have never pulled it again. It's crazy because that's where the broken lever gets used.
Yep.
I don't know why. I want to say
that, its placement, it has to be on the left or right edge.
I thought it was the right.
I think it might have. It has to be on the right, and it's like certain tiles have a better chance of having it. But really, that one became one of my mainstays. I got the secret garden one time.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, I wasn't getting a ton, but you have to get the. Yeah, exactly. I was having problems
and then a
getting
locked door.
Key. Yeah. What was the other one that you used to open it?
So it's the greenhouse, it's the secret garden, and then God, what is the third one? It's the one that opens the bottom door.
Yeah, and I've gotten that a couple times.
It's in the 7
that one, the
hallway
big
with the 7
locked rooms.
Doors.
Yeah, I got that one. That was actually the one that got me into the antechamber for the first time in this run. Then it's been the greenhouse pretty much every time since.
Interesting.
The problem is getting the broken lever, although I've been pretty good about now figuring out like where it generally could be. Which
I rarely
speaks to this. Speaks to the game. I have not. You learn. You're like, oh, this game, does it have skill? And I will say, yes, your knowledge matters. That 10-hour time where I even just saw the basement door with the key, couldn't open it. Like, stop. I mean, I had done probably like 30, 35 days to even get to that point.
Right.
I think on this, once I started again, I got to I got to room 46 on the 26th day. I got the garage and the outside side building on day like 3 this time.
Oh, wow.
That took me like huge number, but I knew what I was doing.
You knew what you were doing exactly.
And I'm like, oh, this game does have a level of skill. You like if you play it and you start internalizing the knowledge of where you should go and how you should place things to get the outcomes you want, you're much likelier to get it, and you can not speed run it, but figure things out quicker. And so that's like my feelings on the game. I thought it's just a pretty brilliant marriage of the roguelite and the puzzle, and the puzzles are fascinating because there's so many layers to them. Even runs that like didn't work out, I was almost always progressing something in some way. I was always finding something new, learning a bit more knowledge, like learning a letter for the grid.
Right.
There was always little pieces that I was putting together. I had my notebook in front of me, finding music pages.
Mm-hmm. Thank God for the screenshot button, by the way. So I have to go back and find those goddamn music sheets again when I found out that the secret was the first words are the code, not these bolded words.
Yeah, it was so good. Yeah, and I had screenshots. That was nice. But I did that, there's always like what I call the micro puzzles, logic puzzles. Like you hit a room, you have like the parlor,
the dartboard, which is the math stuff.
Puzzles, and the billiards room. Like there's small puzzles that you come across, and those are always just kind of give you like a simple logic piece to follow.
I love how they get harder. Like they didn't just stop. They got fucking harder. I'm in day 69, and the dartboard is nuts.
Oh, I'm sure. I don't know. The things with the billiards and the dartboard, I have the blue is add, yellow subtract, red multiply, purple divide, the square in the center with a color, square the color when you're done with the arithmetic. I assume there's more.
Oh yeah, there's a diamond, then there's a double squiggle, then there's a quadruple squiggle. That's as far as I've gotten so far, is the quadruple squiggle. Okay. The double squiggle is round to the nearest number, and then the quadruple is round to the nearest 10. Yeah, it's a fucking. That's and then cool. Have you got to the part where the slivers are a third of the number? So then you have to third the number. Yeah, it gets crazy, man. It's really cool. I like it a lot. And the thing that's nice about that too is every once in a while when you get stuck, you're like, I can just brute force this. Like I know the first four numbers, then the next one I cannot figure this out. I'm just gonna hit every single number, and then eventually you get through it, which is kind of nice. It doesn't lock you out if you get fucking really stumped.
Yeah. So general thoughts on the game is just, to me, it is this great marriage of two genres that I wouldn't expect to work out well.
Yeah.
It tickles my brain in the right way. I don't tend to like puzzle games that much. But I couldn't put this game down.
Yeah.
While I was working through it, wanted to do another run, find new things, randomly draft new rooms that I hadn't seen before. Yep. I'm still hitting rooms I've never seen before.
I just hit one today.
Just like
treasure
what?
Trove. What the hell is this? And it's a black print. It's not even any of the color schemes. It's a brand new one, and comes with a note that explains how awful and scary it is to have found a black print, basically, and how it should be buried forever and no one should ever see it.
Oh, I see. You got on it's the underpass.
Yes, the underpass. So when you are going towards the that long tunnel, you open the metal gate in the middle and you go towards to pull the lever to open the moon door. So probably 10 days ago, like game days ago, whatever, I noticed before you get to the gate, there is a path to the left.
I've gone down it. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a red door there.
Correct.
With a little light button. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's the boiler room. There's a red thing in there. So next time I get the boiler room, I'm going to redirect the steam to light up the red thing. And I did. It lit up. I ran down there and it was a whole different thing. And I was like, okay, so this whole different thing, you like go outside of that area, the underpass, and you can see it from the outside. And then you go up, and you go back to the clockwork puzzle. And then you realize why you can lift the clockwork puzzle. So you figure out how you can lift. There's a whole other level to it up there that goes to a locked gate with another combination, which you need for. You were talking about the art puzzle where I didn't figure out early on. I had these art pieces. The first room has face and ace, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" And my wife and daughter were the ones that figured it out. They were like, I was talking about the fortune telling genie who said, there are 8 letters, and just like the art, we're missing one. And I was like, "Oh, what does that mean?" And my wife and daughter were like, "It means that the 2 pieces of art, there's 1 letter difference." What the fuck? So I drew out the grid, started going through every single room and writing all the letters. And then it's like 8 dates, crack 8 safes, or something like that.
If we count small gates, 8 dates, crack 8 safes.
Yeah. So the thing down here is a small gate. The combination, there's really only one option. When you look at it, you can figure out what it is based on what that means. And then inside there was a puzzle to up my allowance. And then there was a black print.
Okay. No, you're right. The boiler room. That's what I was missing for that red thing. Yeah. Because I've seen that red panel in the boiler room and have. Yeah. Obviously, I turned it on at one point. I was like, it's not doing anything. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Whatever. But I've forgotten about
this whole thing. I'm so proud of myself today because it was today. I'm doing for the last week again. I started doing just 1 run a day to see if I can get to room 46 again, and I can consistently. The one time I got the antechamber open and got up there is the one time when I didn't get to the foundation. So I was like, oh, I don't need a foundation. I can go outside to my drained fountain and get the same weight. Nope, you cannot get there from there. That's the way you move the minecart. So I was screwed. And then I couldn't get to the moon door to open it up, et cetera, et cetera. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I wonder if I could have moved the fucking minecart in that run.
You can move the minecart.
And have gotten back to the fuck me.
You can if you've opened the right. There's a door you can open.
I did. I have that door
makes
open.
the little shortcut, and you can move the minecart.
I fucking hate myself right now, man. I would have been in that room a week ago because I haven't gotten until I said this out loud, and I'm like, I could have moved the goddamn minecart and done exactly what I needed to do. Fuck me. Okay,
well, there you go. But this is the game. This is the game. Is these constant little knowledge things and going, oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do this. Learning more.
Yeah. And, Jason Schreier has been raving about this game when it was in, before it came out. And it was like, I put 140 hours in this game. It's amazing. But he's like, whatever goal you have 10 other goals because you won't get the goal you want, but you'll find something else out every single run. Like this time I opened that gate and I got the black print and I was just trying to get to room 46. Yep. And all of a sudden I unlocked this whole other thing. And I was just like, wow. And I'm still in the middle of that run. It was this afternoon before we went to the baseball game. So I turned it off or, put it in rest mode or whatever. But so this game to me last year, there was a demo out on Steam. Oh, and was IGF last year too? Was IGF last year?
IGF. It was this year's IGF, but it was really early in the year. But yeah, Blueprints had what they submitted to IGF and what I basically played was what their demo was.
But it was out last year, right?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it came out at the end of last year. The demo came out at the end of last year, and then IGF was January, Feb of this year.
For some reason, I thought you had played the demo, but it must not have been you. It must have been a podcast I listened to where they were talking about this thing, but then you were obviously talking about this, early this.
I could check real.
Because I swear to God, it was you even early last year or late last year.
I could get in all my time. When is it? It was last year. Never mind. Yeah. Time has no meaning. It was October.
That's when IGF was?
October, November. No, I had that's when my voting was.
Because that's the time period.
My judging started October 14th, and I had until November 11th to play.
Yeah, that's exactly
as many games
as
I felt like doing it.
So in my head, it was November last year you're talking about, and I was just like, this is... you kind of vaguely described it, and it was like there are blueprints, there's a house, and I was like, this is a puzzle. This is some sort of nerdy thing that Anthony really gets into, and this is not going to be my thing. But then this year, obviously it's in my head because you were talking about it, but I was going to be happy to hear you talk about it, but not really participate in it on the podcast. And then just everyone was raving about it before it came out, but specifically Jason Schreier. And I was like, okay, this is a game that I between you and the podcast, I'm like, I should at least check it out. But then I found out it was going to be on PS Plus and X Game Pass or whatever. Then I have PS Plus, and I was like, well, perfect. I'll just check it out. I'm pretty intentional about what I play. I don't really play things I haven't purchased. I buy the things I want to play, and that's what takes up my time. So I don't play that many like PS Plus games. But I'm like, I'll just download it, check it out for free, and I play it for a couple hours. I couldn't fucking stop. I could not stop playing this game. I've played 28 hours so far. And for me, it's just that right mix of puzzle game that's not too obtuse. Like Baba Is You is a puzzle game that I keep thinking about. That was like 2017, 2018, something like that. That was fun, but just so fucking hard that I really couldn't get through it without looking at a guide. I'm like, this is no fun. Whereas this game, there's so many like puzzles that are not too far out of my grasp, and so many different kinds of puzzles and so many different ways to solve them. Like the art thing, like as you go further through the game, when you open up the classrooms or find other rooms, the drawing room, for example, the drafting, whatever, there'll be like more obvious clues. And it's like, oh, that I've already figured this out. Thank you. But boy, this really spells it out. And I was in the classroom today, and my daughter was next to me, and she was noticing it was like the color room or something like that, where they're trying to match the two things of each color.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like B-, B+, and you can kind of start to realize they're trying to tell you what color the flags are. And I'm like, those flags are meaningful somewhere. I don't know where, why, or how, or the symbols. I have no fucking idea, but I'm sure I'm supposed to know something about those flags eventually. So then I learn that, or I open up the room outside, and then there's a shrine, and I can leave a blessing, and I can get some other modifier. And the way that it smartly adds to your runs, like I have my allowance of coins up to 14 now. Sometimes you get like a ton of gems too, and then you get to a freezer, and you're like, well, I'm deep in my run. I'm almost fucked. I'm just going to freeze my shit and start over, because I'm going to start with a bunch of resources. Then realizing the West Wing or the East Wing matter for what you open up there. And really just looping together not my final run, but the first run where I actually rolled credits. It was just, it felt amazing. So I'm not playing a ton of new games this year. I'll probably play some more this year, but I'm going. We're going to play Claire Obscure Expedition 33 together. Yeah, and I'm sure that's going to be like, based on what everyone is saying, it's going to be an amazing game. It might be on our list this year, but goddamn, right now Blueprints is number one with a bullet. Like one of my favorite games I've ever played. It would be on my top 25 now. It is so fun to just go and draft new stuff. There's still new stuff happening, which is crazy. I just unlocked the kennels, which changes. I don't know if you have the kennel. Do you have the kennels?
I don't know if I pick the kennels. I've had an option to pick it in the. Okay. Which room is that? Is that the drafting? Whichever one lets you add new blueprints into your.
Yeah, that's where I got the kennel from. Exactly.
Yeah, and the kennel's been an option on one of the times. I didn't pick it though, because I picked.
It's a cool one. I haven't been able to like really maximize it yet, because I haven't got a shovel with the kennel. But if you get the kennel and you lay it down, then any room where you can dig, the rooms are unlocked. The doors are unlocked. And that's just another cool way to fucking, spread your key resources.
And you can combo that with the outside building that adds more dig spots.
Yes, exactly. The root cellar.
Oh, the root cellar. Oh, you could do a lot with that. Have you ever, you're talking about your allowance and stuff. One weird thing that I did early that like kicked my allowance up way higher than it should have been. Have you powered the laundry room?
I don't know if I've powered it. I've been in there where you can like recycle some stuff.
Yeah, there is one laundry unit that it has a power conduit going into it. It needs to be powered. And if you power it, the conversions you can do are crazy. And one was convert your stars into allowance.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I was wondering why you are racking up stars. Like, what do I do with this?
That's a pretty amazing one. I was like, that was early game. It was a permanent switch. Oh
my God, that's amazing.
You swap your allowance and stars, basically.
Because my stars are like 39 right now, and my allowance is 14.
Yeah, it was real good.
Oh, damn. Okay, I haven't powered anything. I mean, let me rephrase that. I haven't powered a room next to the boiler room. I've obviously powered the red gate thing, but I haven't powered any rooms. You can like look into ducts in the ceiling. You can see, power. Yeah, I've not done any of that.
I've powered a few things.
Did you power the laboratory with the?
Yeah, because I did that with the push 3 up after 9. What did that get me? It got me something cool.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet. I just haven't had the RNG to get those things together. I get the boiler room, and then I get nothing next to it that makes sense. So
yeah, what did that get me? I think it was cool. There's so many small incremental things.
yeah.
Oh right, it unlocks another permanent upgrade.
Really? Oh, is it the fourth one? The one I'm missing?
Yeah, the Blackridge Grotto. And lets you get into it's like it's the Blackridge Grotto. Which one is that? Yeah, is that the one that's the computer centric one?
Oh, is that where you use the microchip?
Blackridge Grotto. Maybe.
Do you have the microchip?
I do have a microchip.
Yeah, me too.
So it's not that one.
Okay, because I haven't done shit with it. Yeah.
Is Blackridge Grotto... Oh, no. Actually, never mind. Do you have another microchip? There's 3.
Oh, I only have one. Where did you get yours?
The Blackridge Grotto. You
got one from the Blackridge Grotto?
Yeah, which is the big terminal, big computer room. It's actually where the microchips. It's where the microchips go.
Okay, because I've not unlocked that, so I have no idea where the microchip goes. No, the one I got was I got mine from smashing the vase in the opening entrance room.
Oh.
Turn around and use your sledgehammer.
Oh, if you have a sledgehammer? Holy crap. Oh my god.
And I thought I had to pick it up and keep it and put it in the coat check room, but no, it's there on the table every day.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, there's actually that's leading to another thing. Like getting the Blackridge Grotto, you need to put in 3 microchips to unlock something else. And we're talking about I think that's unlocking late game.
Okay. Shit.
So there's rolling credits is early game. Yeah. Which we've done. Getting back to room 46 for a second time really opens up what mid game is. Spoilers here, it's sanctum keys. So the moon door lever, there's 8 doors.
Right.
Next 4 on each side. You need special sanctum keys to open each one. And there's a puzzle in each one that references things you might have seen in the house.
Does one of them have to do with fucking chess?
I haven't got one with chess. I've only opened one. I've only done one, and it was an image and layout thing that I saw in the tomb, actually.
Oh, interesting.
And I did the tomb, and I saw this spread, and then I got into the sanctum room 1, and I was like, oh, good thing I took a picture of that.
Yeah.
Because then it's using levers to make basically this big arrangement on the wall match what you saw. And then it unlocks. It then gives you a little path, and you get some lore, and I got more allowance out of that. But yeah, you're working on getting through the 8 sanctum doors.
And then after you get through all 8, something happens, I assume? I
think so. I think that unlocks another piece that is part of that in-game, which I know deals something with the lore of the world and a castle. There's something to do with a castle that I've never seen but exists.
I think I may have seen it today, because when I was up in that upper area and I got through the red door and then through the gate with the combination, there's a window in the back, and I was looking out the back. Let me text this picture to you. Okay. But I was like, what the fuck is that? And now that you're talking about it, I'm like, maybe it was a castle.
It could be.
Let's see if I can describe it there it is. So it's like some sort of, oh no, that's a fucking castle. Yeah. That's exactly what that is. I'll send it to you, but you tell me if you think that's what it is too.
Yeah, I just know that there's a late game deals with a castle, getting into a castle and something. Or
that would make sense. Where the place I was in, I wonder if it has anything to do with.
Oh yeah, that's probably it.
Looks like a castle deep underground.
So there's some way that you get down to that.
Man, so I walked into this podcast being like, I'm probably going to play a little bit and then be done, get in there again and I'd be done. But I'm sort of intrigued, this new puzzle today. I was like, this is there's more shit here that I'm kind of interested in. But I'm trying to stick myself to like 1 or 2 runs a day.
Sure.
And if I just keep doing that the rest of the year, like I will get more progress without killing myself.
Yeah, I'm looking through. So like coworkers, we started talking, made a thread on May 9th that we just called a spoiler thread for blueprints, and we could just discuss it. We're up to 205 replies in the Slack thread. But my one coworker, she was mentioning, she's like, she got the last Alzara fortune telling.
Oh yeah, I got that too. Yep.
She started to learn how you can break down walls.
With the power sledgehammer.
Yeah, I'm finding new things with that. I haven't put that together. I know it exists. I just haven't got the pieces to do it.
I haven't either.
Removing crates from that outside tunnel.
Oh, really?
Do you know the tunnel on the outside is just full of crates?
Yeah, I think I've been there once. I don't really.
There's nothing you can do, but there is a way to remove the crates from doing stuff inside the house. And she removed enough that she got another sanctum key from in there. Shit. Okay. But she hasn't removed all of them. You can remove all of them to get something else. I don't know what. She just finished the 7th and 8th sigils. So
what are the sigils?
Nah, that's part of the sanctums. Sigils. The sigils are what you're trying to match in there. Like you're trying to like there's sigils you have to match. Castle is a thing.
I wonder if there's something in there where you have to like match the colors of the flags in some way or the symbols.
Probably. I think the flags matter. Because they are the nation flags around in this fictional world. And I think it matters because we haven't gotten even to the lore. There's a lot going on.
Dude, I watched the lore video and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't even think I have very many hints of any of this yet.
Yeah. I got the passport for your mom in one of the vaults. I unlocked. In the vault. I had
a safe deposit box key,
a safe deposit key for the safe, and I opened it, and there was a fake passport in there.
Okay,
and I started piecing together that there was like a revolution, like you can kind of getting the sense that your mom was part of the joined this revolutionary force. Not exactly sure on full details of it, but yep, that exists.
Well, you have the whole thing where she wrote the red book, and then the red book that you read in the room is not the ending she wanted.
The censored version.
Exactly. Yep.
Then what did it say? This coworker, after doing all that, has a new anti-chamber puzzle.
Oh.
She did not elaborate. She just says no idea where to start with it.
Oh,
but there's something new in the antechamber that she unlocked. And
how did this guy do this? All these fucking puzzles. It's crazy.
8 years. A lot of time.
That's a long time. Yep.
That's basically how to do it. Remove all crates from the tunnel. She still needs to power the laundry room. I just accidentally did that was the thing. I didn't intend to do it.
Right.
It just lined up and I was like, I
would love to boost my allowance.
She's saying there's something about a different admin key.
Oh.
I don't know what that is.
For the terminal, I assume.
Yeah, a different key.
Yeah.
Core math. Not sure what that is. I don't know. There's just so much. Like, she's probably the deepest in from anyone I know at work, and she's still going and finding new things. I think
it's crazy.
Kind of amazing.
That far in.
Yeah, it's the thing. Most people are going to fall off.
Yeah,
I bet mid game where we are, a little bit after where we are, because I think it's just. It's not that the puzzles get super challenging. What it asks you to do starts becoming pretty complicated. And I don't know if everyone has the patience for it with the RNG.
I mean, it's a little frustrating trying to get back to the antechamber, and it's like I just cannot pull the right shit. So I can see that.
Although you have the back door now that you forgot about.
Oh my god, such a moron! Yeah, exactly right. I could have just pushed the fucking cart, gone in the fucking back way. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Silly boy.
Because that's what this thread they had been talking about just going in through the back door most times now.
Yep. Well, now I will. Now I'm just going to focus on getting up into the antechamber, not worrying about the fucking foundation.
But yeah, it's and actually when you're speaking to the RNG, that is probably what I would call from like a professional game designer discourse that I've seen. I've have some game designers that hate this game.
Oh, interesting.
Because they hate the RNG of it. They want it to either be a pure puzzle game or not.
Yeah.
And I have gotten some conversation being like, I very much argue that taking the RNG out of this game, the roguelite aspect of it, it's not this game anymore. It's just your Myst-style puzzle games. And part of the actual core element of this game is the friction of the RNG.
Well, I feel like people want to be
part of it.
People want to be rewarded for figuring out how it works, and then the impediment is the RNG. Like, I can't do the thing that I learned how to do, so it's like delayed gratification. But once you get that gratification, oh, it's so good. Most
puzzle games let you, like, once you know how to do it, like, you're like, oh, I see the puzzle, I see the solution. You can just go do it. There's nothing impeding you from just executing. This game says no. You figured that out. Cool. You still got to work towards getting back to using that knowledge. But while you're doing that, you're probably finding other puzzles and solving other things along the way. Because this is not a game of I have one thing. We said at the beginning, it's not a one thing to solve at a time game. It is I have a notebook of things to solve. I have a checklist of all sorts of things to work through. And that's how this game's asking to be played, and that's kind of the voice of the designer coming in there. Person that created that, like, that's the game. And if it wasn't that, it would probably just be, honestly, just another puzzle game. A cool puzzle game, but I don't think it would stand out nearly as much.
I wonder if, I guess I wouldn't be surprised if that part of that from the designer is a reaction to guides culture, where a puzzle game, once you find the solution and it gets published somewhere and it's the same every time, it's like, well, you kind of shortcutted my thing, where now you can't. Like, you really gotta have, tweak the drafting. I have a thing now where I can draft the same room multiple times. You change the rarity of things, blah blah blah. So much you can do to fuck with the RNG that makes it easier, but still, I mean, I'm still kind of fucked. So
yeah, there's the I haven't even done all the shrine blessings.
Oh yeah, I've only done a couple
now, but I definitely like the one that I use the most is just one coin. Allow you to spin gems to rotate rooms.
Oh fuck, dude, I have not done that.
Yeah, just one. Put one coin in the shrine. You get 3 days of 3 days of being able to spend a gem to rotate the rooms.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yep. I mean, it can drain your gems if you don't have a good gem economy coming.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that's probably been the most helpful to me.
Yeah. I did 9 gems and 9 coins. That's what I had. I was like, I'm gonna use everything I have. And what did it do? I need to look it up now because it did something cool, but I forgot what it was.
Yeah, all the blessings are just neat. But it's a way of helping you out. I'm looking. It's Red General.
Red General, that's right. Draft a red room and you have 5 different ranks containing red rooms. Gain 5 gems. Oh yeah, that's what it was. That's right. Yeah.
Liz has talked about. I think we had talked. Her and I had talked about like using Dancer all the time when it was available, which is the first one that lets you do the rotation. But she said that like she thought that was a crutch at first. Then she started doing higher blessings and would be sticking with those. So I'm very curious. I haven't asked her which one that she's kept on using towards her end run. But you can in the was it the library? It's either the library or the bookstore that actually tells you all the blessings. I haven't done that. Yeah, I have the bookstore now. I'll do that.
It's so cool. What shrine blessing? Oh, interesting. So you spend 1 and it lasts for 3 days for Dancer.
Yep.
If you spend 17 coins, it lasts for 4 days. If you spend 33, it lasts for 5 days, 49 for 6 days, 65 for 7 days.
Yeah. If you have that much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I feel like you can get your allowance up pretty high in weird manipulation ways. Because there's that, and then there's experiments you can set up in the lab. Using that terminal in the lab to say, when this thing happens, and permanently increase my allowance by 1. And you just do something simple. I know that.
Yeah, if it's something you can do over and over and over again.
Yeah. But yeah, we just talked about other weird things you can do in this game for anyone listening. Like this cool. Game just has tons of layers and connections. I do truly believe this is the Myst of this generation. And we'll go down that way as like in that Hall of Fame of puzzle games. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it took the dude 8 years to make this. I shouldn't say dude. I don't know their gender, actually. I don't think they've specifically said their name.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know.
But either way, they have created quite a game from just making a Magic the Gathering spoiler site to fund it.
I love that. I love that story. I love the everything converging, like all of my favorite hobbies right now. Oh, so good, man. Yeah. Every night I'll play a run, which is hilarious because I just picked up a PS5 Pro in anticipation of the prices going up, found an open box one that was a little cheaper, blah, blah, blah. And I'm playing Stellar Blade, which I'll talk about later. And this, I'm like, I did not need a pro for this fucking game. But
no,
God, it's just so good. So,
yeah. Anything else about Blueprints?
Did you? Oh, when you get back to the 46th room, you get a sanctum key. Basically, is that it?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
You get some more lore. You can pick up the crown. There's just a number of little things, and it kind of starts setting you. You'll see some stuff in the room that's like, there's basically the key thing is the map of the world and the nations, not labeled, but then there's 8 pins, and you can put the pins on the board, and you're trying to connect like the order that I think your uncle visited them, and that relates to solving the sanctum puzzles. So I think once you learn do all the sanctum puzzles, you'll know the order to put those pins on that board, and it's going to do something else.
Oh my God. Interesting. Okay.
I think that's my assumption, but I could be wrong.
Right.
Yeah, there's just a number of little things in there, a bunch of like more lore stuff in that room, kind of just sets you onto the mid game.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be done when I rolled credits, but I'm like, nah, I don't think so. I think I want to do a little more. See what happens. Keep going.
Yeah. You need to get that. Do the lab experiment so you can get that 4th permanent unlock and see that whole room.
Yeah, that I need to prioritize doing attaching the boiler room to the lab or to the and to the laundry, basically.
Yep. Okay. If it works out, you should do those.
And if it touches, I just need to touch them, right, to connect it.
They can be touched directly, or you can connect.
Draft the ones with the ducts.
The ducts that will, I think they're mostly the hallways that can connect. Okay. So you can send the conduits further along.
Yeah.
That's another thing to do. Just add it to the list. Big checklist of things.
Yeah. So cool. What else you playing?
What have I? That's basic. Well, no, I played that, and then I've been playing Diablo 4 because they had a new season, which everyone's raging about because their cosmetics are so fucking expensive. Always. And I'm like, well, they're owned by Microsoft now, so I'm sure the price will never come down on those cosmetics. Yeah. But don't buy those cosmetics. Just play the game. Right. And I've been having a blast just playing it. It has Belial back in it. It has actually a similar boss fight of Belial from Diablo 3.
Wow.
They put in it, redid a lot of the bosses and kind of like the in-game, which bosses you're going through. The season's all about killing the bosses and collecting their powers, so you can customize like a a boss power board. It's not active abilities you get. They're all passive based on you doing other abilities, but just another way of getting power. Really, my critique is that the last like 3 seasons have had some variation of this. I'm very curious what it makes me wonder how much resources are actually being put towards Diablo 4 overall.
If they're just repeating the same stuff.
Yeah, I'm very curious. Stuff, I mean. Yeah, I'm really curious. Like really how much Microsoft is investing there as opposed to just trying to just do bare minimum for the most part. Hard to say, but they need that. I'm like, okay, you got to do something else. It's time to do a bit more dramatic changes when seasons come. But I'm still having a good time. They're doing with expensive cosmetics, but then also a bunch of free stuff you can earn from playing for a Berserk crossover, like the manga and anime Berserk.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a really famous manga. Dark fantasy dude that has a giant sword. Not a katana thin blade sword, like a Buster sword kind of thing. Honestly, the Buster sword kind of probably was influenced by Berserk because it was long before Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, it's just but that's been fun to just earn some cosmetics just from playing and doing that. But yeah, just playing that as more of a like doing a bunch of blueprints. It's very mind focused intensive. Work is very on right now. And so sometimes I just want to shut my brain off and just blow monsters up. And I do. Yeah. A lot of them. And it feels really fun to do it in that game. Yeah, it's very therapeutic in that way. In a way, unfortunately, that Path of Exile 2 can't be because it needs far more attention for my brain than I want to give. I don't really want to compare the two, which one's better, but there's definitely a like, when you're playing a game, how much do you want to focus on it right now? Because these games land in very different places.
Yeah. Well, that means there's room for both of them, I would assume. But
definitely.
PoE I think folks are pissed. So
yeah, they are kind of or something. I don't know. Yeah. I was having fun time before.
So
yeah. I think the only thing that's probably the big thing there. I know that there's always going to be vocal people being like, when they're changing stuff season to season and beta, especially, like they swing the fences and like change things pretty drastically stat wise. They did on PoE 1 as well. I think I would be mostly frustrated with them is the fact that they promised that they were going to keep doing stuff with PoE 1, but have stopped.
Yeah.
And notice said like, we don't have the resources to do both right now, which is just a bad look after you said that you would make sure to keep making PoE 1, like have strong new seasons and leagues, and being like, yeah, we're just recycling things right now because we don't have the people to do both. Not a good look, in my opinion. So if people in that community want to be upset, I would be upset at that. But other than that those are my game. Like it's thinky game.
And a not thinky game.
Completely non-thinky game.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you mentioned you play Stellar Blades more.
So yeah, I think we talked. I know we talked last year about the PS4, PS5 Pro, and it just not being something that was useful for either of us. It just didn't have enough games that took advantage of it, and the price was just ridiculous. But I found an open box one on eBay, and when the Switch, the tariff shit, and then the Xbox went up, and I was like, this Pro is going to go up. It's just not a matter of if, it's when. I had planned to get one later in the generation, so like this is the cheapest it's going to be. All right, if I got this open box one, and I can trade back in my old one, it'll bring the price down to around $450 or so, and that's fine.
Yeah, reasonable.
So I did it. Yeah, I did it. And then I could also get a disc drive finally and have a disc PS5, which I do now have, which is very nice. Because when 2020 rolled around and we were all trying to get PS5s, the link that I think you had shared the Wario 64 link in our Discord, and I just clicked the first one, and it was digital.
The digital one.
Yeah. But I wanted the discs. So I can play my PS4 games, which has been great because I haven't played them in 5 years. My discs. In fact, I thought for a while I've had certain games like Days Gone, for example. I was like, I have Days Gone, but it doesn't show that I have Days Gone, except for when Sony gave it away during the pandemic. I was like, where the fuck? I thought I had a memory of buying it, and then I opened up my wallet with all my discs now that I have the disc drive, and it's like, oh, there it is. And there's a bunch of other games I forgot I had because I bought them physically. That's right. And they've been put away for 5 years. But anyway, so I was like, what game do I have? I just want to see what the Pro can do. So I looked for the smallest sized game. I was like, I can do Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I will, but it's like 100 gigs. So I'm going to download Stellar Blade, which is a lot smaller. So load it up. There's a couple of pro options. And then there's a high frame rate. It'll go up to 120 frames, which I have not seen it do that, but it goes up to like 80 or 90.
Okay.
And I have a VRR 4K TV that does 120 hertz. So I feel like I can take advantage of the machine, and then it just looks gorgeous. Like I was flipping between regular mode and this mode, and it's like crisper. Everything looks better. The frames are better. Obviously, it really is noticeable. And then especially in this action game. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to check out how it looks. And then I started playing it. I was like, oh, I stopped after like an hour. I kind of got stuck somewhere, but I got unstuck and kept going. I was like, this is actually a pretty fun game. And obviously it's sexy as hell. But it is pretty fun. Pretty fun game. Interesting story. So I kept playing. I played like 4 or 5 hours, maybe 3 or 4 hours. So I played that. And then I loaded up Days Gone because I found the disc and I just wanted to see if I had the upgrade path, which I did. It was $10 to upgrade if I had the game, which I had the disc. So I upgraded and I played the first hour, and I was really surprised how much I enjoyed it. I think there was so much that's similar between it and Last of Us in terms of like the tweakers or the fucking zombie looking tweakers or whatever, and even like the way that you can create bandages and create Molotov cocktails. Like there's so much similarity, but the story is different, where you start off with you and your friend, you're Deacon St. John, and you have a friend named Boozer, and you're just trying to like get away after all this bad shit's happening. You're trying to like save your friend, and there's just like this story of like male friendship at the beginning here for the first hour that was really compelling for me. So I was, have heard a bunch of shit talking about that game over the years, but honestly, the first hour kind of impressed me. It might be because it's the PS5 Pro version, but it's the story that I thought was interesting so far, at least. So that, and then the other thing I've been playing is Final Fantasy 3. We are just about to finish it for the RPG backlog. That arc has not started being published yet, but we are right at the end. And so we'll have finished the opening trilogy of Final Fantasy. And of the three, Final Fantasy 2 is by far my favorite. But they're all great. I mean, they're all fun. I love it with the modern conveniences of boost modes. It really helps smooth out some of the annoying shit. And then if I need to get through a dungeon that I've already walked through and I'm trying to walk back out, I can either teleport, which is a skill you can use anyways, or I can just turn off the random encounters and then zoom my way back out.
Yeah.
So lots of time saving. I'll probably finish Final Fantasy 3 at around 11 hours, and it's supposed to be like a 22-hour game. So some of the boosts really help shorten the time frame. But that's it. That's what I've been playing. And then Blueprints every night. I'll get back to it tonight. I got to finish my class, get it all ready for finals week, which is next week. And then I will finish that run of Blueprints and see if I get anywhere.
Yeah. We need to talk about how we want to do Claire Obscure. Because I think I'm ready to... I think we should talk later through the week and see how we do. Maybe just play the prologue, if possible.
That'd be great. Yeah, this is perfect timing.
I've heard the prologue is really good. It's a really good hook. Yeah. So I'm like, maybe just play that, and maybe we can discuss that next week.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it for next week. This is perfect because I'm finishing Final Fantasy 3 for that arc, and then I was thinking when that's done, if we could start Expedition 33, that would be I could jump over to that.
Yeah, And the prologue I don't think is super long, but I think it'll be a nice taste of what the game.
Yes, let's do it. That
tonally is going to be, and I really haven't had any spoilers for this game. I just know it's French and weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any story spoilers. I just know that it's Final Fantasy X-esque. So that's interesting.
Okay.
But I think that's mostly in terms of like tone, I guess.
Okay.
Like it's not like you're headed towards like a really fun thing.
Yeah. Well, I know that I do know the basics from like their trailer that there's the big entity in the ocean or wherever that the expeditions are going out, because they're just painting a number, and everyone of that age or older just is gone, is dead or something, and every year it just keeps ticking down. So I'm like, that's not a happy setting to be playing in. Let's do
the prologue before next week. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, let's try it.
Cool. All right. Well, everyone, thanks for listening. If you like our podcast, please rate it on your podcast service of choice. Tell a friend, and we will be back next week to talk about the prologue of Expedition 33, Clair Obscur. Or Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Anyway.
Whatever the name of the thing is.
One of those two, for sure. All right, folks. We'll see you next week.
Later, everyone.